Well, it depends. Most of the time they're early. They're about. They picked ours up this morning before I left for the office.
Okay.
I start prompting Owen on Wednesday.
Welcome to Chamber Live.
Hello, hello.
It's
I was
an-
going to say, we talked about this earlier in the week about Happy New Year, but wait, it's towards the end of January. You can't say Happy
How
New
long
Year
can you say
anymore.
Happy New Year before you can't say Happy New Year?
New
I
Year
say
anymore.
through the end of January.
January, yeah.
End of January.
That's what I
right?
say.
That works.
Well, we're excited to have our two guests with us today. We've got Melinda and John Childress, Banner Drug, the Greenbriar Girl. Going to talk to you guys in a few minutes about what's going on in there and your journey to where you're at, which is wonderful.
Yeah, but first, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our upcoming
Yes.
events. Tomorrow, we have our very first
yes.
business after hours. And so our business after hours, we're doing a little differently. We have two businesses collaborating together to kind of network, and that's going to be at Delaney. So Dave Laney and Brandon Crouch of Hunka Junk Calling, they're partnering up to do our business after hours. So that's going to be Thursday, January 25th from 5 to 6:30. We really appreciate if you will RSVP for that so we can let folks know that you're coming. But it's just going to be a fun evening.
Yeah, a
getting
lot of
together.
fun. We have our annual meeting coming up on February the 15th. We just closed all the nominations for awards and got some amazing businesses and locals in the community that have nominated in all the categories. I was thrilled about that. So we'll go through the process of, going through and selecting those recipients for the event. So that's exciting. We have our casino night coming up March the 9th. That's going to be so much fun.
It's just going to be fun. Just going to be fun gambling. I don't know how to gamble, but I love to watch people having fun. I am such a back row entertainment person. I like to see people having fun and just learning things. I think we're going to have some live entertainment in the room also. So it's going to be a fun night.
I think the best table in the house is typically the craps table, because I don't know. I mean, it's just rolling a dice, but when you get those right numbers, everybody's screaming. And I could never be a dealer because I have to count. Like blackjack, you have to know how to count to 21 in your head. And I don't know. I kind of, when people are staring at me, I kind of forget how to do math. I forget my math when you're staring at me. I'm like, But
so Shannon will not be a dealer?
No.
We may have some guest dealers.
Or don't let her count your money.
Well, I mean, I can count money, but it's just there's like this pressure to say, okay,
is it 21?
Is it 21? Who won? Who didn't win? So I don't like all that pressure on me. I can definitely count. Women's Conference, March the 21st at the Civic Center. It's going to be a full day of learning and professional development for all of the leading ladies in our community. We're excited about that. That's the first quarter of the chamber right now.
We're coming into this year hot.
Ooh. We got the business after hours. We've got luncheon leads. We've got meet and eat, and we have chamber on caffeine. All of those are happening as well. Different networking events. So just check out our calendar, statesvillechamber.org, for all of the information.
Yep. And make sure, if you haven't yet, go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, because we do put out a weekly newsletter that showcases our events, but also our community too. So
yep, there's so much going on. We attended an event last night. We went and saw Mamma Mia at the old jail and got to sing along. It was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun. So there's always something to do in Statesville.
Yeah.
So let's talk to our guests. So,
Hi.
hey, Melinda. Well, let's talk about, I don't know how
Who came first? Which came first,
Yeah.
Banner Drug or Greenbriar Grill?
Banner Drug.
Banner
for
I was
sure.
going to
Banner
say.
Drug, okay.
Tell us your story. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about your drugstore here in town.
Gosh. So it's actually been 7 years since
Wow.
I took over Banner Drug.
Wow.
So January 1st was 7 years. So
Wow.
I know it's kind of like,
7.
wow, that's hard to believe.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
But I mean, Banner Drug has been around for, since 1996.
Wow.
So
That's almost 30
we're
years.
coming up on, yes.
Yeah, my high school reunion is 94, and it's 30 years. I'm
Okay.
totally aging myself right now, but
Yeah.
that's so scary.
Oh,
So
I
28
know.
years for you guys.
Yes,
It's been
yes.
around.
So
That's
it's-
cool.
Because Banner Drug was 1 year before I graduated.
I know.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've worked there for 12 years now.
Gosh.
And I mean, it's been a joy to be back in hometown
Yeah.
where everyone knows.
So what
knows
made you
you.
decide to buy Banner Drug? Well, you worked there, so you were I was gonna say druggist, but it's
Druggist.
pharmacist. I'm sorry, that's
No, I mean, I went to pharmacy school at
Yeah.
Campbell, and I knew then that's what I wanted to do, was to own my own business. And I mean, most people think pharmacy world of retail, that's it, hospital. I mean, there are so many options out there to do these days. But independent is what I wanted to do. And so after school, I graduated and did a residency with Moose Pharmacy in Concord. And they are an independent pharmacy as well. And just the knowledge that I got with the business side and how it's run and how you actually get to take care of your customers, I mean, that was huge. And so I knew that's what I wanted. I got my little toolkit from that year and was like, okay, I want to go and open my own store.
Love it.
And so, I mean, I worked in Yadkinville for about 5 years, and then we decided to move back home. And I was like, sure, you can come and work for me. And whenever the time was right, that he was like, okay, I'm ready to hang it up, he'd let me know, and he did.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of been one of those things that I've wanted to do and did, and we're doing now.
Was there just one location for Banner?
Yes.
When you started
Yes.
it?
So just one location, and you get the age of a lot of the pharmacies and pharmacists at that time that were getting to the point of wanting to retire.
Yeah,
so
aging
that's
out,
when in
yeah.
2019, when we bought the First RX
Yeah.
pharmacies as well. So to be able to have that opportunity to continue in town and in Harmony has been
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, you went from 1 to
To three,
Three.
right?
To 3, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
plus
So,
plus a restaurant in
plus a
there.
restaurant. I know.
I think the history even goes further back than the 96, just in the Banner name.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Al Banner had a pharmacy
Yeah.
for 20 years prior to that, downtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He had the medicine
The
shop.
medicine shop.
Oh,
And
so lots of-
transitioned from his own medicine shop and started Banner. So he had his own for 20 years and then had his own for another 20 years.
Wow.
And then the first RX brands
Yeah, they were around
there for a long time. I think Larry Marlin took over the Forest Heights one in '83.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But
Lots- lots
it
of
was already
history.
there at that point.
Lots of history.
There's lots of
history.
pharmacy history in this town.
Yeah. What a big leap.
For sure. For sure. I mean, just going into having one in 2017, but then when we added on the 3 more stores,
Yeah.
2 grills in 2019,
Yeah.
and then COVID hit.
Hey, COVID.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So
Wow.
it was, okay, we're good. This is all happening. And then 2020, and it was like, oh my goodness, what in the world are we
Yeah.
going to do?
So, what did you do? That's part of kind of the conversation that we have with businesses like yours. You've been around, so you've seen the ebb and flow, but nothing like COVID, right?
Oh, nothing like. I mean, for us, as far as the pharmacy, two out of the 3 stores, well, actually, 1 out of the 3 stores had a drive-through. So that out at Greenbriar, I mean, we were able to continue using the drive-through. But the other 2, I mean, we had to adapt and offer curbside, offer delivery more. And even with doing that, I mean, we've still continued offering delivery to most of these people, if not more,
Wow.
now. So, but when people couldn't come in,
Yeah.
you just had to get creative in different ways to get people to get their medicines. And how are we
I
going
mean,
to do
that,
this?
that business didn't slow down at all.
No, it
I mean,
didn't
you
stop.
need your meds.
Oh no. And then it started, okay, well, with the vaccines,
Yeah.
how can we do this? So, I mean, we adapted at Greenbriar and made it so that we had a certain area that's where we did all the vaccines. And working with the health department, I mean, was a huge deal for us to partner with them to get the vaccines initially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we hadn't got it from them, then we wouldn't have been able to help as many as we did.
Yeah.
But just, yeah, being your own boss, you have that flexibility of being able to change with the times and do things and not have to go through this step to get it done.
Yep.
So,
How many
The
people do
corporate
you have?
ties.
How many people do you have working in all your pharmacies right now? Roughly?
so I've got, in the pharmacy, I've got 37 employees.
Oh wow.
I mean, part-time, full-time, delivery drivers. So,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, it's enough.
That's a lot. That's a lot to manage.
It's a lot. But I've got some really good pharmacists and really good operations manager and Hannah Mitchell. And so between her and I mean, we keep the pharmacy going.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So,
What's something you would share about Banner that most of the community may not know?
well, I mean, a lot of it, I mean, we are an independent pharmacy and we have a struggle too that, yes, we are small. We can't compete with some of the big box places and all. So even though we're not contracted with a certain insurance that or not as considered preferred in there, but people come to us because we know who they are. We know they know that we're going to take care of them. I've had plenty of people this year that said, I'm being fine paying a little bit more to come to you because I know you are going to take care of me. I know you are going to take care of our family. So I'd rather do that than have to wait in line and all for who knows how long. So customer service, I mean, that is
Where you stand out.
where we stand out.
That's
Yep.
fantastic.
I would
Yep.
agree. I mean, y'all are my pharmacist.
There we go. There we go.
So
So
I think y'all do great work.
That's fantastic. And
that-
I think that maybe people don't know that as an independent pharmacy, you know, that you can go and have a conversation to check and see if your insurance provider will, you know, cover your prescriptions through you. It's just about a conversation, right?
And a lot of this too, I mean, this goes into getting into some legislature issues as well, where insurance companies, and this is what most people don't really realize, is the contracts we sign. I mean, we sign them, but it might not pay me what it costs to buy the drug. And I'm like, I have to make business decisions that way too. And thank goodness for this year, some of the legislature across the country has changed so that it's more transparent. So we will see a little bit better what actually is happening.
Before you sign these contracts so
Right.
that you know.
Right.
Wow.
So contracting is huge and all, and I see progress happening in Washington and across the state.
That's good.
So,
Wonderful.
But it's nowhere near it needs to be.
Right.
But
So,
anybody can
yep.
come. I mean, anyone can say, I want to use banners. Like when they go to the doctor, they say, who's your pharmacy, right?
Yep, that's right. That's right. I mean, there was one contract this year that I couldn't take just because of the business side of it. So, I mean, but we were able to work with those customers that had it, make some insurance changes. So
Good.
it's been good.
It's a lot on the, you think about just the part of the dispensing the medicines to people, but the whole other.
Yep.
Did you know that? Did you anticipate that when you wanted to be when you wanted to own the business?
I've had quite a few pharmacy students that have come through that we take fourth year and first year from Campbell and High Point and UNC. So, but come in and say, I wish they had taught a class on insurance
Wow.
and all in school, because that way you have a better idea of what is going on.
Because it is more than just dispensing the meds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the
Oh
day.
yeah, I mean you have to look at what you're getting reimbursed. You have to look at what a drug costs. So, and a lot of the times, I mean, even when we hire new employees, it's like you have to train on what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, it is my business, and
Yeah.
I mean, I want it to be your business too, to make sure that we're successful.
Wow.
So,
So shall we move over to the other part of your business with your partner in crime here?
oh, of course, of course.
So not only did you pick up a pharmacy, but you also picked up a restaurant business.
And at the time, it was two.
Two. That's right.
So, but yeah.
And John, how do you feel about that?
I was thinking about the question that you asked of how did you respond or react when something like COVID hit? And I think from the pharmacy perspective, you could see changes or see change coming or it came and you could react to it. We'd never thought about a restaurant before. Never wanted one before. The only thing I knew about a restaurant is I like to eat at them. And that's it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we had one. We took them over November 1st, and by the time we got to mid-March, the restaurant was shut down. I don't think we knew what happened to know how to. I mean, it's almost like life today from a restaurant perspective is more stressful than it was when COVID hit, because I didn't know I didn't know anything then.
Right. You didn't get a chance to
I
be
didn't
successful.
I didn't have a chance
or-
to know what restaurant life was like. I didn't have a chance to know anything here or there. And, now we're 4 years later and sort of recovered, sort of not. Some days yes, some days no. And now it's dealing with the the regular stresses of restaurant life. And I don't know that, I mean, it hit me over the head with a board and I didn't know it back then because we didn't know any better. I didn't
Right.
know it.
Right.
Do you think COVID gave you a chance to kind of figure it out because you were having to kind of slow it down a little? I mean, your business probably really didn't slow down much,
No.
other than just how you dispensed and got. But you
No.
couldn't have people coming in,
No,
and you had to figure out how are we going to keep our restaurant open and serve people.
I think it really gave us probably the opportunity to at least have a restart.
Yeah,
We took the restaurants over as they were current operating restaurants.
right.
I think COVID honestly allowed it to take a time out
Yeah,
and start not from scratch, but sort of.
but make it yours and kind of say, here's what we want to do with
Because
this.
we had to bring both restaurants, not that they were not meeting code, but anytime a restaurant changes hands, it has to be brought to current health code
Right.
standards.
Note to people wanting to open a business that somebody else opens.
Not to say that the
Right.
ones beforehand weren't to.
But the codes were
restaurants,
different when they
But the
opened.
codes were different.
And then new ownership, they get to review your building
so
again.
It
Fun.
really kind of allowed us to old one, I guess, Forest Heights one. We did that remodel fairly quickly
Yeah,
when we
you
took
did.
over.
That was really fast. I remember.
We actually opened it for a week and a half
and
after
then
that remodel and closed the doors.
did not realize that that was that fast. And the remodel did go quickly though.
It was a quick remodel, and then we were back open for a week and a half before we shut down.
And that was for COVID, right?
But then that allowed, well, since the restaurant was shut down, well, we pressed on with the pharmacy side of it. For Greenbriar, it allowed we still had a drive-through at Greenbriar, so we could still work some stuff through the kitchen and through the drive-through. But our dining room was closed, so we kind of got to refresh a little bit. We painted the entire place. So then when things kind of got opened back up to where we could operate again, it was almost like a restart. But I don't know that we ever started. So it was kind of like a fresh start for us to go through the process, and I've been trying to figure it out ever since.
Well, I think you're doing a pretty good job.
It's funny though what people do and when they go eat or where they go eat when they decide to do something, and I track it on a little dinky spreadsheet. I have like 3 numbers that I track on it. I mean, my point of sale system can do it, but for whatever reason, I like it. Trying to think I'm going to find some, for lack of a better way to put it, seasonality or some trends. Nope.
Just not.
You really don't know what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. You might think that this season's going to be slower or this time of year is going to be slower, but the next year it proves you wrong, and it's another time you can't. You
I
just,
can imagine it's
just-
a
you can't.
fickle.
It is. It is.
It's pretty fickle.
It's really goofy. It's really goofy.
Well, you kind of expanded the restaurant in that y'all offer catering now, and
We do.
that wasn't something y'all that the previous owners did, and I think that's helped.
And we do a little bit. We've started to get in a little bit. We've got a catering menu that we've created that somebody can come in and create a little bit of what they want. It's more or less based on some of the daily specials that we do that are home cooked daily
Yeah.
specials. It's not you can come get a hamburger and hot dog and some more routine stuff
Or
at the
people's
grill.
favorite, like Nicole said, meatloaf tomorrow.
Right.
Meatloaf tomorrow, Thursday.
Veggie
meatloaf.
lasagna.
You can
my
come get that
favorite.
stuff cooked fresh right there at the grill every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bring you a hamburger for catering. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
But we can do some of those home cooked specials and cook it that day, prepare it for you, bring it, and it's
Perfect.
it's easy for everybody and usually pretty tasty.
It's definitely tasty. We've tasted a few things.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great model for you too, right? You can hit a larger catering, a corporate catering. You can do small events. You can do family events. You know,
Okay.
we've had conversations with families that have a larger family or having people in town, and they're like, I need to order just a pan of lasagna from you, and have
that's
it be done.
We could sit there and try to market anything and everything from daily stuff coming into the restaurant to big catering events to small catering events to family meals, and I mean you could put stuff out there until you're blue in the face,
Yeah.
and either it doesn't get noticed or some notice, and we just kind of go. Melinda and I've been born in this community, raised in this community. We live, eat, drink, play, work, everything here. and it's being involved in the community to spread around what we do, I guess, more so than anything. That if you need something, chances are we can do it. If you need a meal for your family, chances are we can scale it to do it. We did as a part of COVID, we actually were doing family meals
Yep.
in the evenings where you could come by and pick it up at the drive-through because couldn't come in the restaurant, take it home. And again, it's the hit or miss. We might do 10 one night, and then the next one we get 3. And you don't know what people want, when they want it, and so we kind of just, if you think about something, you want something, okay, we'll see if we can do it. Chances are we can.
Right.
I'll say probably the entire key for us in never being able to attempt taking over a restaurant has been Kathy Miller.
Oh, yeah.
And
Kathy, your food is
staff.
delicious.
all of her family, all of
Yeah.
our staff, which is our family.
Yeah.
I try to leave well enough alone and stay out of their way. If you come into the grill and you see me in the kitchen cooking, it is my food, not yours.
True.
If you think you're, chances are if you got something that I cooked, it is not right.
So there's a burning question I have. How, as a married couple, are y'all able to make it work? Because I know you kind of are in different spaces, but there's a lot of overlap, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
How do y'all get along pretty well? And I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know you well enough to know that y'all do. But
Oh gosh, yeah, no. I mean,
do
he's
y'all
over
enjoy it?
on his side, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And I mean, he knows I know the pharmacy side.
Yeah.
I mean, if I do have a question or something, then I go and ask him.
Yeah,
But it's like, nope, we keep them
that's good.
separate there
Yeah.
for the most part. But still, we bounce ideas off each other and hear the gripes or
Yeah.
struggles or goods.
Hers is way more intense than mine is.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
No.
It's way more intense than the restaurant.
But y'all are a good
Right.
like sounding board for each other, just to be able to talk through
Oh, yeah.
and make decisions. Because
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, you both have to make the decisions together on your big things, right?
Right.
I'll say at the end of the day, I think either one of us know the other is there to help and support the
Yeah.
other
Yep. Yep.
without question.
I mean, I think of working with my spouse, and I don't think it would work if we were working in this. Maybe if we were separate but together, maybe.
Right, and that's what we are.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he was actually in the pharmacy working, we might have a little bit
I'm a
more of an
good
issue.
One
maintenance
would
guy.
be over in that
Yes.
store, and this one will be over here.
Yes.
in that store.
I'm a good maintenance guy.
He's a good maintenance
Oh,
guy
that's true.
and a delivery driver
Yes.
if we need it.
Yeah, that's good.
You
So-
also have to realize who still is the boss. Is helpful.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
Well, I want to
There's
say you
still one boss at the end of the day.
had mentioned, John, you had mentioned
love it.
family and, your employees being family. I see that resonate in both of your businesses.
Yeah.
So that comes from the leadership there. And
Oh, yes.
also just how much you're involved in the community. Talk about what it's like living in hometown and being a part of the community.
Oh, I mean, we've always been. I mean, my family had a business here in Statesville for over 100 years. Star Milling Company on Front Street.
Right.
So my cousin and I were 5th generation
Wow.
there. He worked for him. But I mean, I see that being for so long and seeing how that was, I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And so to have all my staff and everything, when I say I have 30-some people, I'm like, but they're all my family.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all work together. I mean, I see them more than I see, well, not John, but Addie and others. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's still, when you're a part of a community like this that really supports you and knows these struggles and knows the good, then, I mean, I think that's where it's been nice to be back here.
I always think y'all are great cheerleaders for the community. And,
Yeah.
one of the things that we always talk about at the chamber is how do we retain our talent, our retention for you guys grew up here, went to school here, and left for a little bit, but came back. So
yeah.
we really try hard to showcase that to our middle schoolers and our high schoolers. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
there are opportunities here,
Oh,
whether
yeah.
it's with your own business or coming and work for someone else. And I think that's a big,
And we've really tried to get in the pharmacy, which is a little bit easier, some of the high school kids
yeah,
too that are a part of the early college programs, so that we know that they're going to be around for
Yeah.
that extra year. And they have been phenomenal to see the growth from when they start, and they are so timid and meek, and then by the time like they start learning
Yeah.
and growing, it's like, oh my gosh, you were just doing so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, and even we've had students from the CATS program
oh yeah,
going through the pharmacy technician
oh, good,
program down there to come through. And I mean, it's good that we're able to do that and to be able to be a site for the next generation. So
wonderful.
yes.
Anything that we missed that you feel like we should share about your businesses?
I mean, we're just glad to be here and glad to be able to continue to the legacy of taking care of people here in the community. I mean, we still get people, and it just amazes me that Banner Drug, who's that? I mean,
Well, yeah, we hear a lot
even
of
the
it.
grill. Where's the Greenbriar Grill?
Oh, gosh.
That don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of getting the name out and getting what we do out there, because I mean, like you said, we don't just dispense medicines. I mean, we give all kinds of immunizations. I mean, we're working right now to do some diabetes education.
Nice. Yeah.
To be able to offer a class there at our downtown store. So, I mean, it's things outside the box that is not normal to pharmacy. So, yeah.
Well, I look forward to hearing more things coming
Yeah.
down the pipeline with you guys, especially on the pharmacy side.
Yeah. And
So,
then,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the things that we ask, just as a shameless plug for the Chamber of Commerce, we know that you all have been members of the Chamber of Commerce. What has that meant to your businesses?
Oh, I mean, just the relationships that you build when you get to meet all the other members as well, and being a part of all the different events and stuff. I mean, helping with sponsors of Friday After
Yeah.
5 and
Fun times.
fun times. I
Yes.
mean, John's done some more other things, but I mean, that's where you learn more about
Yeah.
other businesses too.
It's your community connection maker.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. It's born here, raised here, and that's how we choose to operate our businesses, by connecting with our community. And that's exactly what a Chamber of Commerce does, is connects you to more and more people that you didn't connect to otherwise.
Well, as Statesville's growing, and it's 29,000 strong now as of the last census, with a lot more coming this way.
Well, and we mentioned some people, they don't know that Banner Drug is there, or they don't know that Greenbriar Grill is there. and I sometimes catch myself thinking, "What? How do you not know it's here?"
No,
I mean,
But
it's Statesville, and what I keep thinking and what I go to is, wait a minute, you're not me. You weren't born here and raised here.
and there's a lot more of
You
us.
just moved here. You just
Right.
moved here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Statesville's growing.
Yeah.
And you have to change your train of thought. And so that right there is the way that
Yeah.
the chamber gets our businesses and us introduced to
the
people
people
who
you-
just got here 2 years ago
Yeah,
or less.
That's right.
Well, and I also share too. I mean, for you guys, a great example is just being involved in the chamber, whether it's on committees or our leads group, or John is a member of our board this year, so thank you. So being
meeting tomorrow.
involved,
Now, 8 a.m.
being involved in that way really helps. And once you become a member and you decide to jump in, those are all just opportunities just waiting for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So
And we appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah.
Y'all are wonderful partners with us. And, from a outwardly, by sponsoring, but, y'all lend hands when we need help. You know,
Yes.
John's great. You talk about being a maintenance man when we have a problem of some sort that requires some kind of engineering
Oh, yes.
put together thing. We're like,
Let me have that trailer again.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So
that was
we
fantastic.
appreciate that.
I also saw his handiwork in DSDC's boardroom. They now have a TV on the
Oh,
wall.
is that you?
TV's on the wall.
Okay, good. I haven't been up there to see that one yet, but we appreciate y'all so much and best of luck. And there's still
Yeah.
other things y'all are doing we didn't even get to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is the whole little tenants that you guys have. So we'll have to have you back to talk more about that.
There
But,
we go.
but as we go, please
Yes.
share.
Yes.
Where can we find Banner Drug?
So we have 2 locations in Statesville, one at 308 Moxville Highway with the Greenbriar Grill, and then downtown Statesville at 307 North Center Street.
Next to Hardee's.
Next to Hardee's with the United
And the
Way.
United Way.
So we have a drive-through there.
Yes,
And
love
then
that.
in Harmony at 111 West Memorial Highway. So,
Fantastic.
yes.
What a great community
I
to
know,
serve.
just a quick plug for the tater tots at Greenbriar Grill. I can't believe you didn't bring me any, but I'll just have to go get my own.
There you go.
right
Go get
after
your
this.
own. We'll get you a burger on the
I'll
grill.
get my veggie burger.
Veggie
Oh,
burger on the grill.
they have veggie burgers there, I'm sure.
And like he said, he had daily specials.
Yes.
Thursday is meatloaf. So
Apparently Nicole's coming tomorrow for me.
There you go.
I actually sent a message out to our leads group that says, does anybody want me to bring
Oh.
some Greenbriar Grill with me?
There. Oh,
that's
that's
a yes.
Oh yeah.
We will
Well,
respond.
thank y'all so much.
Yes,
Thank y'all.
thank you.
Appreciate y'all's time today.
Yes.